Well, welcome to Ryan's Reserve. It's pretty wonderful to be here on this much anticipated day. My name's Bridie O'Donnell. I'm head of the Office for Women in Sport and Recreation, newly appointed and inaugural head of the Office for Women in Sport, thanks to Minister John Aaron, the Minister for Sport, and the Andrews Labor government, who feel that it's absolutely vital that we level the playing field for girls and women across all roles in sport and recreation. And it's my pleasure to be here today to be part of this extraordinary announcement around the redevelopment of Ryan's Reserve to improve the facilities for girls and women who are playing netball here, and also the pavilion to provide better facilities for people who are working here, for parents, and for those who want to be part of this process. So we're going to hear from a couple of people today. Obviously, there's been a lot of work that has gone into this process and a lot of cross-government negotiation, a lot of conversations and compromises, and I want to specifically thank some of my colleagues at Sport and Rec Victoria. A lot of work around the inner city netball program has been done by Josie Krier, and she's here today, so this is a big win for Josie and for her team and the Community Sport and Infrastructure Fund. Obviously, gender equality is a big issue, and we're talking about it a lot more, but it's never more important to be doing this in sport and recreation for girls and women in Victoria. So it's my pleasure to introduce first the Minister for Planning, the Member for Richmond, Mr. Richard Wynne.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for being here on this very beautiful Saturday morning here in the great city of Richmond. Can I start firstly by acknowledging that we are on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and as is our custom here in the city of Yarra, we pay our respects to elders past and present. So, Bridie, thank you very much for being here today. Rochelle McKenzie, the President of Netball Victoria, is with us. The great Eloise Southby is here somewhere. There she is at the back, who needs no introduction to anybody who knows anything about netball. So, Eloise, thank you so much for being here, and good luck to the Vixens, as always. Therese Barry, President of the Richmond Netball Association, Karen Clark, the Secretary, and of course all of the families who are joining us here this morning. So this has been quite a long journey, and sometimes I've been a member here for a number of years, and I have to say sometimes you do good things as a local member, and sometimes you make mistakes. And I have to say that we made a mistake as a government when we thought that swapping Ryan's Reserve for some other netball facilities in the city of Yarra was perhaps a good thing to do. And I learned a lesson there. I learned a lesson of the importance not only of netball, but the importance of having these facilities made available long-term for people living in Richmond. And I think it is important that as an elected official, that you actually listen. You listen to what your community has to say, and when you have made a mistake, you fix the mistake. And in fact, we fixed the mistake. We have fixed that mistake. So today, I can assure all of the community here in Richmond that this facility will be available into the future long term, because the government will be has already changed the zoning of this land to public recreation use, and we will be transferring the land to a Crown grant, meaning that this land can never change its status from being a long-term recreational facility. I'm pleased also to say that we are concluding our negotiations with the City of Yarra, who of course have managed this facility for a number of years, to ensure that we have a long-term lease with Richmond Netball going forward. But perhaps more importantly, I have something else that I want to announce today. I am absolutely delighted to announce today that the Andrews government has committed $3 million to the upgrade of the courts and the pavilion to ensure that they are competition standard. This is very important because we know that we need to provide the best facilities, competition grade facilities for these wonderful young people who see netball as not only their sport but something that they can achieve at the highest level. And I think it is really important that these facilities are of the highest quality. Now, works to upgrade the facilities will take place over a period of time. We hope that the works will start later this year, but this will require obviously some quite difficult logistical questions as to ensure that the ongoing facilities are available, and we want to ensure that the alternative netball facilities will be available whilst works are ongoing. Obviously, Melbourne Girls College, we've got 3 courts that we're putting in at Melbourne Girls College. We've got courts that are currently under construction at Richmond, the new Richmond High School. So we want to ensure that there is no disruption to the program here of netball going forward. But today, I think, is a cause for celebration. It really does represent, I think, a really significant commitment by the Andrews government, not just to the netball courts here, but the 64 courts that are being built through the inner north of Melbourne. So thank you very much for being here today. Thank you very much for all the work, particularly that Richmond Netball does to ensure that these wonderful young people do get the opportunity for active sport, and I don't think there's anything better that a government can do but to ensure that we invest in the future health and well-being of young people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Minister. I'd like to invite Ms. Therese Barry, President of the Richmond Netball Association, to say a few words.
Thank you very much. Well, what a day. On behalf of the Richmond Netball Association, it's our pleasure to have the Honourable Member Richard Wynne, Minister for Planning and Member of Yarra, here with us today. I'd also like to welcome Bridie O'Donnell, Head of the Office of Women in Sport, Rochelle McKenzie, Eloise Southby and Amanda Basu from Netball Victoria, Phil Sakeley and Josie Creer from Sport and Recreation Victoria. I welcome you all and thank you for coming to Ryan's Reserve, the home of the Richmond Netball Association for the past 25 years and now for many more years to come. I would like to thank the Andrews government for their recognition of the importance of women and girls in sport and committing to investment in our facilities so that we can continue to do what we do best, and that is to deliver grassroots netball programs. The Richmond Netball Association knows that playing sport helps girls in many ways. We know that playing sport helps with better physical health, positive engagement, social life and community engagement, and it contributes to higher self-esteem, better self-image, self-confidence, and a lowered rate of emotional and psychological difficulties. These reasons inform our engagement to deliver quality programs in an environment of fun, friendship and fitness to cater for the various levels of participation. Whether it is delivering programs at the entry net set go level that you can see over there on the courts, or to our competitive representative levels that provide pathways for those athletes that aspire to state level competition, we value it all. Women and girls in sport need their space and facilities to experience the benefit of their sport. And once again, I would like to thank Richard Wynne for his ongoing friendship with the people of Richmond, and for the announcement today. I would also like to thank Josie Creer from the Inner City Netball program and Amanda Basu, General Management of Government Relationships with Netball Victoria, for their patience and assistance with us. We have been on a very long journey together, and I really value their input and tolerance at times when they were perhaps the recipients of some of our frustration. Today is a great day, and I thank you all for coming, and let's just celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you, Therese. It's wonderful to hear this new dollar amount invested into this area is going to make an enormous difference, if only for changing the way food and beverages are served to kids who are playing here and to the parents associated with it, but also to make courts that are safer, to be compliant, but to be used by more people for more hours of the day. I think that's really important. And for so many of the young girls and women playing here, they can see a pathway from Ryan's Reserve just up the road to Hisense Arena to maybe be playing for their state or their country. So I want to thank you all for being here today. We're going to conclude those events. Obviously, we want the courts to be made available so that people can train and be active today. Please feel free to take lots of photographs of your minister and of Therese. Louise is here to answer questions as well. So thank you all once again for being here, and a great day for celebration.